10 Essential Lessons for Mastering Self-Discipline, Marcus Aurelius. Imagine starting each day with unshakable purpose, undisturbed by chaos, and laser-focused on what truly matters. Sounds extraordinary, right? Yet, this was the reality for Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher whose wisdom has survived millennia. His writings aren't just ancient reflections, they're powerful insights into mastering self-discipline, lessons we need more than ever in today's fast-paced world. In this video, we'll explore 10 essential lessons for mastering self-discipline, guiding you to build resilience, clarity, and inner calm. Stick around to the end. You may find one of these principles could be the turning point you've been waiting for. And if it's your first time here on Stoic in Your Life, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to support more content like this. Let's unlock the strength within. 1. Draw up your daily purpose. Self-discipline is a virtue often praised yet so rarely practiced with conviction. Today, amid endless distractions and the lure of quick rewards, finding a path of purpose that builds inner strength is more relevant than ever. Imagine not merely enduring the ups and downs of life, but thriving through them, transforming challenges into stepping stones for growth. That's precisely what Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful leaders and a Stoic philosopher, achieved through a profound commitment to his purpose and self-discipline. His words aren't just lofty ideals. They are tools we can apply practically to create a disciplined, purposeful life in a world that seems to be pulling us in every direction. Marcus once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." In the hustle of modern life, this advice is especially profound. Think about it. Every day we're confronted by endless choices, from what to work on to how we interact with others, to how we manage our time. Often we end up juggling too much, and without a clear purpose, this leads us to scatter our focus. Self-discipline here is not about rigid self-control, but about aligning your actions with a purpose that genuinely fulfills you. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? It's a question Marcus himself asked frequently. He saw his purpose not as a lofty goal, but as a compass, guiding even the smallest decisions, from private struggles to public duties. Living with purpose takes courage. In modern life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by options and bombarded with temptations that lead us astray. The Stoic view, however, invites us to filter through superficial desires and fleeting emotions to uncover what is essential to our well-being. The Stoics would urge you to strip away these distractions and ask, what is truly worth my time and energy? Marcus reminds us that true fulfillment is not about big achievements or external praise, but about living each day in alignment with our deeper purpose. Purpose is not an abstract concept, it's a practical tool. Think of it as your personal compass in a stormy sea. When Marcus speaks of living in harmony with nature, he is referring to understanding your role in the grand scheme and acting in alignment with virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. He viewed purpose not as a distant ideal, but as a practical guide to every action, no matter how small or significant. Reflect on this. Each morning, think about what your purpose is and set an intention to honor it, even if only in small ways. By staying true to this direction, you cultivate the resilience and self-discipline that allow you to face challenges with clarity and strength. Marcus's Stoic approach shows us that true discipline lies in our ability to say no to what doesn't serve us and yes to what aligns with our purpose. In modern times, self-discipline is essential for building a fulfilling life. It's about knowing that the value of your life isn't defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. Marcus once stated, "The universe is changing. Our life is what our thoughts make of it." Take a moment to ponder this. Every time you control your reaction to a setback or choose patience over anger, you're actively shaping your reality. The Stoics believed in cultivating an inner calm that remains undisturbed by external events, knowing that peace is found not in controlling life's unpredictability, but in controlling our thoughts and responses. To practice Stoic self-discipline, Marcus often used daily reflection, a habit that enabled him to refine his actions and stay focused on his purpose. How often do we set aside a few minutes to evaluate our day and realign with our goals? Imagine beginning each morning by asking, "What must I accomplish today to fulfill my purpose?" And ending each night by asking, "Did I live today in line with my purpose?" These questions are simple yet transformative, helping you to not just react to life, but to actively shape it in alignment with what matters most. In today's world, self-discipline is often misunderstood as rigid self-denial, but for Marcus it was a path to greater freedom. He believed that discipline was not about depriving oneself, but about choosing to live according to one's highest values. We see this in his writings when he states, "Virtue is the only thing that cannot be attacked." In other words, when you cultivate virtue, external circumstances lose their power over you. Reflect on this. The more you invest in understanding your values, the less you'll be swayed by fleeting temptations and distractions. This creates a life rooted in purpose, a life that is resilient in the face of adversity. In a world overflowing with distractions and instant gratification, Marcus Aurelius's approach to life as a disciplined, purpose-driven journey is not just wise, but essential. Think about the modern professional, constantly bombarded by notifications and deadlines, or the parent balancing work and family, struggling to find time for self-care. In both cases, a Stoic approach can be revolutionary. By committing to what truly matters, by setting clear boundaries, and by choosing actions that align with a higher purpose, you transform daily challenges into opportunities for growth. 2. That true self-discipline. Don't worry about the future, act in the present, Marcus Aurelius advised, underscoring that true self-discipline begins with grounding oneself in the now. For Marcus and the Stoic mindset, this doesn't mean isolating oneself or rejecting others' support. It's about understanding that ultimate responsibility for our actions, reactions, and personal growth lies within. In Stoicism, a core tenet is focusing on what lies within our control, a powerful reminder for men in today's fast-paced, interconnected world, where external pressures are constant. This idea of taking full responsibility speaks to a profound resilience that Stoicism advocates, a trust in the self to face life's unpredictability without succumbing to anxiety over what may or may not happen. Marcus often emphasized this concept, saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By choosing to focus on our inner strength, we unlock an ability to navigate challenges not by changing them, but by transforming our response to them. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Do not hope that events will happen as you wish. Instead, wish them to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly." This approach invites us to develop trust in our judgment, to build competence through practice, and to strengthen our understanding of our own virtues and capabilities. This self-sufficiency isn't about arrogance. It's about a quiet confidence rooted in knowing oneself deeply and authentically, a skill particularly liberating in an age where we're constantly flooded with others' opinions and advice. Trusting oneself in this way is not easy, but as Marcus reminded us, the happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of a principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. In today's world, the ability to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot is crucial, as it empowers us to develop autonomy in our decision-making. This autonomy allows us to make choices aligned with our values rather than being driven by external pressures or fleeting emotions. Living with this kind of personal integrity and alignment is key to creating a life that feels true to who we are. Marcus believed that living by one's values wasn't just about making the right decisions. It was about building a foundation of self-respect and inner peace. It's easy to be influenced by the noise around us, but when we cultivate this inner compass, we're less likely to waver from our path. How then can we begin to build genuine trust in ourselves? Start small. Set commitments with yourself. keep them, set personal goals, and work towards them independently. These are small steps, but each one reinforces your resilience and self-discipline. Marcus taught that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Practicing integrity in the little things lays a foundation of strength for the bigger challenges. Over time, as you follow through on these personal promises, you build a steady confidence in yourself that is unshaken by life's storms. Aurelius consistently emphasized the power of persistence, showing up daily not only in body, but also in spirit, a practice fundamental to Stoicism. This commitment is not about grand, sporadic acts of effort, but about a steady, quiet dedication to daily tasks that together forge a disciplined life. The waves of the sea are our inspiration. We face life as it faces the shore, Marcus wrote, likening the act of showing up every day to the ocean's persistent waves. In the Stoic view, nature teaches us that we're here not just to exist, but to participate, to contribute to the world through our actions, however small or routine they may seem. By committing to this process, we cultivate resilience and create a life of meaning. Each day is an opportunity to recommit to our values, to engage with our responsibilities, not as monumental feats but as small, deliberate actions that align with our purpose. The fire tests gold, adversity tests the strong, Marcus wrote, reminding us that true character is revealed not through ease, but through the daily challenges we face. In a world filled with distractions and fleeting motivations, the idea of showing up each day has even greater significance. It's easy to feel inspired one day and entirely unmotivated the next, but Stoicism teaches us the value of consistency over intensity. Every day matters. Progress in any area requires the overlooked commitment to simply show up, not because each day needs to be spectacularly productive, but because each day offers a chance to make meaningful progress, whether in our work, our health, or our relationships. This commitment is profoundly linked to the Stoic practice of mindfulness, of being present in the now and doing today's work today, free from the regrets of yesterday or the anxieties of tomorrow. Marcus once said, "Do not let your mind wander from what lies before you, but concentrate on what must be done and on what is necessary." By making each day count, we elevate our routine actions into purposeful steps toward our highest goals. Aurelius advocated focusing fully on the present and doing our best with the task at hand. Seek not that the future will improve. Instead, make today perfect in its effort. This approach transforms the mundane into meaningful rituals and our efforts into tangible growth. To build this discipline, begin with modest actions. By choosing to embrace Marcus Aurelius's wisdom in our daily lives, we adopt a timeless philosophy that teaches us to face life with courage, focus on what we can control, and make the most of each moment. The words of Marcus and other Stoics invite us to shift our perspective, to find strength within, and to live with a quiet, grounded confidence that weathers life's uncertainties. In doing so, we not only build self-discipline but also create a life that reflects our true purpose and values. So today, ask yourself, what does it mean to live with purpose? How can I make the most of this day? Each day, guided by these principles, we become more resilient, more aligned, and more prepared to face whatever challenges may come our way, with Marcus Aurelius's Stoic wisdom as our steadfast guide. 3. Get out of your comfort zone. Stepping outside your comfort zone isn't just a test of endurance. It's an exercise in strengthening the will and building resilience, a fundamental principle in Stoicism. Each day you choose to commit to even a small challenge, you reinforce the discipline and inner strength that define the Stoic approach to life. By embracing this daily practice, you embody the Stoic belief in personal responsibility and the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius once said, "True happiness lies in accepting the present as it is, not as we wish it to be, capturing the essence of this journey beyond comfort." In striving to face life's challenges, we often come to understand that while we may not control outcomes, we can always control our efforts, and in doing so, we find the clarity and purpose that lead to a life of true contentment. This Stoic practice, championed by Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic thinkers, goes beyond making life intentionally difficult. It's about preparing for life's inherent unpredictability. When we deliberately push ourselves to experience discomfort, we become mentally stronger, more resilient, and deepen our gratitude for what we already have. As Marcus Aurelius put it, we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. It's a reminder that life will inevitably present challenges. The Stoic's task is to meet them with a calm, steady mind. Aurelius believed that voluntarily facing discomfort trained the mind to withstand hardship when life inevitably thrusts us into it. This might mean forgoing certain comforts, embracing physical challenges, or simply practicing small acts of self-denial in daily decisions. The logic here is straightforward. If you're accustomed to facing adversity, unexpected hardships won't unsettle you. It's like training a resilience muscle, preparing yourself to meet life's difficulties with a composed and steady mind. But why choose discomfort in a world so bent on offering us comfort? The answer lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Growth often happens at the edge of our comfort zones. By stepping into less comfortable spaces, we not only test our mental and emotional limits, but also expand them. When we voluntarily embrace these moments of discomfort, we are not punishing ourselves. Rather, we're shifting our perspective, recognizing that comfort is a luxury we can choose to forego. This practice also cultivates a profound sense of gratitude. Everyday comforts become far more significant when we periodically experience life without them. Take something as simple as skipping a meal. This act heightens your appreciation for food, reminding you of its value. Or consider choosing to walk instead of driving. This choice fosters gratitude for mobility and health. These moments of voluntary discomfort can also connect us to the reality that many live without these luxuries, not by choice, but by circumstance, nurturing our empathy and humility. This deeper connection to the reality of others fosters a grounded understanding of the human condition, rooting us more firmly in the shared world around us. To begin integrating this practice into your life, start small and keep it manageable. Perhaps wake up an hour earlier than usual, limit technology use for a day, or opt for the stairs over the elevator. The key isn't in the magnitude of discomfort, but in the intention and regularity behind it. As the philosopher Epictetus advised, difficulties are what show men's character. Each act of voluntary discomfort, no matter how small, is a step towards building mental fortitude and self-discipline. With time, these small steps cultivate a resilience that permeates all areas of your life, empowering you to meet both the expected and the unexpected with a steady heart and a disciplined mind. 4. You control your life. This Stoic principle reminds us to distinguish between what we can and cannot control, urging us to direct our energy solely toward what's within our power. Though it may sound simple, this shift in focus can profoundly change the way we approach life's challenges, reducing anxiety and fostering a deep sense of inner peace and resilience. So, what exactly is within our control according to Stoicism? Primarily, it's our actions, reactions, and judgments. Our thoughts, our will, our responses, these are the areas where we have agency. Everything external, like the weather, the actions of others, or global events, falls outside of our direct control. Marcus Aurelius in his meditations often underscored the futility of being disturbed by things outside our control. He believed that getting upset over external factors is not only pointless, but actually harmful to our well-being. To practice the Stoic principle of control, it starts with the realization that while we may influence external events, we can't control them entirely. For the Stoic, accepting this truth is not passive surrender, but rather a liberating acknowledgement that leads to true freedom. When we focus on our own actions and let go of our dependence on outcomes, we gain a kind of tranquility and effectiveness that is resilient no matter the circumstances. This doesn't mean we become indifferent or disconnected from the world. Instead, we engage with it more constructively, channeling our efforts where they can truly make a difference. In daily life, applying this dichotomy of control can be as simple as asking ourselves, is this within my control? Before reacting to any situation. If it isn't, the Stoic practice is to let it go and move on. Of course, this is easier said than done. It requires practice, mindfulness, and sometimes a gentle reminder of what's really within our reach. Moreover, this practice has practical implications for how we set goals and manage expectations. While we should strive to achieve our goals, tying our happiness or self-worth to the achievement of outcomes determined by countless external factors sets us up for frustration. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to find satisfaction in the pursuit itself, in adhering to our values, and in the effort we invest. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers didn't promise a life free from challenges. Instead, they offered a way to maintain inner peace and dignity through life's highs and lows. By practicing this principle, we not only improve our own lives but also influence those around us, showing calmness and resilience amidst the inevitable uncertainties of life. Understanding this principle requires a deep sense of personal responsibility and a Stoic commitment to self-mastery. Instead of succumbing to a victim mentality, where one sees themselves as a passive recipient of life's difficulties, Stoicism encourages us to take charge of our perceptions and reactions. This empowerment is central to the Stoic belief that our happiness and peace of mind are determined more by our internal state than by external events. The idea is not to deny the difficulties or injustices we may face, but to shift the focus from what happens to us to how we respond to what happens. Aurelius believed that each external event brings with it a choice. Will we allow it to define us, or will we define our response? By refusing to see ourselves as victims, we reject the notion that our emotional well-being is at the mercy of external circumstances. This realization is freeing, opening the door to greater personal growth and resilience. To practice this principle, begin by observing your habitual responses to challenging situations. Do you immediately look for external factors or people to blame? Do you spend your energy complaining about the situation rather than addressing it? Changing these patterns isn't about suppressing your feelings. Rather, it's about understanding them more deeply and redirecting your energies in a constructive way. It involves acknowledging your pains and disappointments while also recognizing your capacity to move forward despite them. Furthermore, this Stoic teaching encourages us to view every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtue and strengthen our character. This perspective is fundamentally proactive and empowering. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, how can I use this challenge to grow? Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, Stoicism views them as a means to build courage, patience, and resilience. By embracing this approach, you shift from a mindset of frustration to one of empowerment, seeing each challenge not as a burden, but as a tool for your own personal growth. In modern life, with its fast pace and countless stressors, this principle of control is both refreshing and grounding. When so much feels beyond our reach, it's easy to fall into a cycle of stress and frustration. But by practicing control over our own thoughts and actions, we reclaim a sense of agency that reminds us of our inherent strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And this remains true today. When you focus on what you can control, your perspective, choices, and responses, you find that you are less reactive, more focused, and more at peace with life's unpredictability. This concept doesn't mean detaching from the world, but engaging with it more thoughtfully, using your energy in ways that align with your values. When you let go of trying to control things beyond your reach, you begin to experience life with a sense of balance, freed from the need to manage what's ultimately unmanageable. In doing so, you learn to appreciate the journey over the destination, the effort over the outcome, and the process of growth itself. The Stoic approach is not a rejection of the world's uncertainties, but a method of finding peace within them. As you incorporate this principle into your daily life, ask yourself how each decision aligns with what's truly within your power. In doing so, you will begin to cultivate a discipline that guides you through life's challenges with a calm and grounded spirit. This simple yet transformative approach to control reminds us that true strength lies not in dominating our circumstances, but in mastering ourselves. If you're still with us, you're serious about mastering self-discipline, type, "I'm embracing Stoic strength" in the comments to mark your dedication to this journey. More powerful insights await, so stay tuned. 5. Turn challenges into opportunities. Now, to turn moments of helplessness into choices that affirm our sense of agency is the essence of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The mind's power is unlimited when focused on what truly matters," reminding us that every challenge can be an opportunity to strengthen our commitment to our values and showcase resilience, perseverance, and inner strength, qualities at the heart of Stoic ideals. By refusing to adopt the role of a victim, we embody Stoic emotional independence, building a calm, steady resilience that lets us engage with life fully, unburdened by the inevitable ups and downs. Aurelius reminded us, "Nothing can happen to you that nature has not prepared you to endure." This approach doesn't mean becoming indifferent to pain or struggle. Rather, it's about reaching a state where our happiness is less influenced by external circumstances and more anchored in our deepest principles. This kind of inner mastery frees us from living at the mercy of circumstances, allowing us to align our responses with our values regardless of what life throws our way. For Marcus Aurelius, facing life's trials wasn't only a matter of personal discipline, but a path toward greater freedom and contentment. In the Stoic view, he asserted, "Happiness lies in action, not in the outcome." This lesson teaches us that lasting fulfillment comes from engaging in actions that align with our values and goals, not from any immediate reward or fleeting pleasure. It's about cultivating a mindset that sees every hardship as a chance to grow stronger, more centered, and more capable of facing life's challenges with dignity and courage. The practice of delayed gratification is integral to mastering one's impulses, a skill that leads to a more profound sense of achievement aligned with long-term values. This doesn't mean denying pleasure, but rather achieving a more meaningful form of satisfaction, rooted in patience and wisdom. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, delayed gratification meant consciously postponing immediate desires in favor of more lasting and meaningful rewards. It's the practice of making choices that may not offer instant satisfaction, but lead to greater well-being and personal growth. As Aurelius taught, our true mastery lies in choosing where to place our attention, turning away from trivial distractions to focus on what endures. In a modern culture obsessed with instant gratification, the ability to wait, to delay for something better, is both rare and invaluable. Marcus Aurelius viewed delayed gratification as a means of maintaining control over one's desires. He understood that when we're enslaved to fleeting pleasures, we risk losing our freedom, allowing whims and impulses to dictate our actions. Conversely, by exercising moderation and selecting our actions based on reason and foresight, we build a life not only of temporary pleasures, but of enduring peace and contentment. This self-control frees us from being captives to every fleeting whim, fostering a life that is not only fulfilling but truly self-directed. Implementing delayed gratification in daily life can start with simple habits. Consider saving money rather than spending it impulsively, choosing a nutritious meal over fast food, or dedicating time to learning a skill rather than immediately indulging in leisure. Aurelius advised, "Do not be troubled by things outside your control." Each choice reinforces the Stoic practice of prioritizing long-term benefits over short-term comfort or pleasure. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, building a strong foundation for a more balanced and satisfying life. The benefits of this practice go beyond personal growth. Modern psychology supports the Stoic view, linking delayed gratification to better outcomes in career, education, health, and relationships. Studies show that those who can defer immediate rewards are often better equipped to manage stress, achieve their goals, and lead healthier, more satisfying lives. Delayed gratification is a powerful form of mental resilience, teaching us to endure minor discomforts today for the sake of a richer and more meaningful tomorrow. Embracing this Stoic principle means cultivating a mindset that looks past momentary satisfaction, aiming instead for a life characterized by true contentment, purpose, and the freedom that comes from mastering oneself. 6. Strength in adversity. The ability to stand firm in your convictions and keep your focus on personal goals, despite the doubt, judgment, or skepticism of others, is a skill Marcus Aurelius exemplified in his Stoic philosophy. For Stoics, relying on the opinions of others for validation or direction was not only unnecessary but also outside their control, so they sought inner strength to guide their path. As Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, do not seek the approval of others, seek instead the approval of your own conscience. His meditations emphasize over and over again that true peace is cultivated internally and cannot be disturbed by the judgments or opinions of others. In this way, Stoic indifference isn't about devaluing others but about strengthening our own focus, helping us ignore the noise that doesn't serve our purpose or align with our core values. In today's world, this approach is particularly valuable, as we are constantly exposed to opinions, judgments, and criticisms, often delivered without context or genuine insight. Think of the pervasive presence of social media and online platforms, where feedback and criticism can pour in from all sides, many times from individuals who lack understanding of your personal journey or values. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between constructive feedback and criticism that is baseless or misinformed. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Remember that every man wishes to do good but often does not know how." This Stoic lesson reminds us to consider the intention and credibility of the feedback we receive. Is the criticism informed, coming from someone with knowledge or wisdom in the area? Is it given with goodwill, intending to help rather than harm? And most importantly, does it align with our values? When we use these questions as a filter, we can focus our attention on insights that support our growth and let go of judgments that have no relevance to our journey. Building this resilience to external opinions means cultivating an inner philosophy strong enough to withstand external pressures and distractions. Marcus Aurelius believed deeply in the value of self-reliance, a mindset that allowed him to stay grounded despite the pressures of leading a vast empire. He often said, "Self-confidence begins with introspection," acknowledging that true strength comes from a deep understanding of one's own principles and goals. This inward focus becomes a source of strength, allowing us to navigate life without being pulled off course by the opinions or judgments of others. By honing this self-assurance, we build a resilience that allows us to rely on our values for guidance rather than fluctuating with the changing tides of public opinion. Embracing this Stoic principle helps us to engage with life fully, without being sidetracked by unnecessary concerns about how others perceive us. It grants us the freedom to choose a path that aligns with our core values, independent of external validation. In a modern context, this is especially powerful, as we often seek validation through likes, comments, or the approval of others to define our worth. By following the Stoic practice of focusing on internal validation, we free ourselves from the roller coaster of social acceptance and criticism, gaining a more consistent sense of self-worth rooted in who we truly are. This journey toward independence from external validation is a process that takes practice. Start by observing how much weight you give to others' opinions and work toward aligning your actions with your values rather than others' expectations. Aurelius constantly reminded himself to stay true to his principles, regardless of the thoughts or criticisms of others. The act of self-reflection, which Aurelius practiced each day, helps us recognize our internal motivations, allowing us to act out of a desire to uphold our values rather than to earn fleeting approval. Another critical aspect of this principle is developing an emotional resilience that keeps us steady in the face of praise or blame. Aurelius viewed this as essential for anyone striving to live a life of virtue. In a world that often emphasizes a cycle of social validation, breaking free from this loop is not only liberating, but also empowers us to live with more purpose and clarity. This strength does not mean disregarding feedback entirely. Instead, it means having the discernment to filter what is useful and disregard what isn't. Constructive feedback helps us grow, while ungrounded criticism can be released without disrupting our inner calm. 7. Choose your great role models. In the Stoic tradition, the practice of choosing strong role models goes hand in hand with learning to ignore detractors and protect our inner focus. Embracing this principle allows us to create a mental shield against unnecessary distractions and, more importantly, to direct our energy toward values and goals that are truly important to us. When we become selective about our influences and consciously seek out those who embody the virtues we admire, we are guided by the example of people whose lives offer valuable lessons in resilience, wisdom, and integrity. Marcus Aurelius wisely taught, "We should not allow others' opinions to disturb us. We must do what is ours to do and move forward with integrity." This mindset reflects a deeper Stoic belief that much of our personal growth comes not from the opinions or praise of others, but from observing and learning from those who have mastered qualities we wish to cultivate in ourselves. Choosing great role models in the Stoic sense isn't about copying them or attempting to become someone else. Rather, it's about identifying individuals whose qualities can inspire us to develop our own character, to become better versions of ourselves. Marcus Aurelius captured this well when he wrote, "True greatness lies in being an imitator of the best." Despite his role as emperor, he regularly reflected on the admirable traits of others, learning not only from historical figures but from his contemporaries as well. For him, studying these figures was a form of mental training, an opportunity to internalize their strength, humility, and perseverance, and to let their virtues become part of his own character. He understood that wisdom was not theoretical. It was something practical that guided every action, every decision, and every response to life's challenges. This idea of emulating others is not limited to admiration. It requires a critical and intentional approach. When we look for individuals who embody Stoic values like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we are essentially seeking a guide that provides a model for facing life with dignity and calmness. Aurelius reminds us that moral excellence is not a gift from the heavens but the result of a constant struggle, highlighting the need for persistence and dedication in the pursuit of virtue. In choosing role models who exemplify these virtues, we find more than inspiration. We find a roadmap that shows us how to remain steadfast in our principles, even when faced with hardship or criticism. In our modern world, this practice of seeking out role models has never been more relevant, as we are constantly surrounded by information, opinions, and public figures who may or may not reflect values worth emulating. Social media and online platforms can amplify voices that distract us, making it essential to be discerning about who we allow to influence our mindset and actions. Choosing role models isn't just about following famous people. It's about identifying individuals, whether they are historical leaders, family members, contemporary figures, or even fictional characters, whose lives provide valuable lessons in resilience, ethics, and clear thinking. Aurelius himself frequently turned to figures from history for guidance, finding in their lives a wellspring of wisdom that helped him navigate his own complex reality. The importance of role models lies in their ability to help us see how principles can be applied in real-life scenarios. When you look at the life of a figure you respect, consider how they handled adversity, the principles they stood by, and the sacrifices they made for the things that mattered to them. For instance, think of historical figures like Socrates, who valued truth and integrity over his own safety, or a modern leader who chose honesty and ethical practices even when it came at a personal cost. By carefully studying these examples, we not only learn strategies for handling challenges, but also gain a deeper understanding of what it means to live a life guided by purpose and conviction. Applying this principle to daily life is about more than admiring others from afar. It's about using their actions as a guide to make better choices in our own lives. Ask yourself, what would this person do in my situation? By using role models as a mirror, we can align our actions with the qualities we aspire to embody. This does not mean becoming a passive imitator, but a conscious participant in self-improvement, choosing actions that reflect our highest values. As Marcus Aurelius emphasized, true greatness is in adopting the best aspects of others to strengthen one's own character. allowing us to grow in our unique journey towards self-discipline and inner peace. In a world where we are so often pushed to seek validation and attention, choosing role models who embody virtues like humility, patience, and integrity provides us with a counterbalance. These figures remind us that life is not about impressing others, but about cultivating an inner resilience that can weather life's storms. When we choose our influences wisely, we create a mental environment that fosters growth, strength, and stability, making it easier to ignore the voices of detractors or those who do not understand our goals. As you cultivate this practice, remember that the Stoic path is about finding strength within, guided by the examples of those who have walked the path of wisdom, courage, and justice before us. By emulating the best, we not only build our own character but also lay the foundation for a life that reflects the core principles of Marcus Aurelius's Stoic philosophy. 8. Surround yourself with good influences. Navigating life, especially as we face its inevitable challenges and make critical decisions, is profoundly shaped by the people we choose to keep close. Who we surround ourselves with influences our mindset, our values, and even the trajectory of our lives. It's not simply about finding people who agree with us or boost our confidence. It's about seeking those who embody values we respect, who challenge us to grow, and who lead by example in their character and actions. Marcus Aurelius reminded us of the importance of rising above negativity when he said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." With this simple phrase, he teaches that our actions and character should be defined not by negative influences or vengeful responses, but by qualities of integrity and resilience. In choosing to surround ourselves with people who elevate us, we take control of our development, allowing ourselves to be inspired and guided by those who live out the virtues we wish to cultivate. Imagine the impact of having friends, mentors, or colleagues who embody strength, patience, and wisdom. These individuals don't just act as supporters, they provide living examples of how Stoic values can be put into practice. When we observe people who face adversity without losing their cool, or who make difficult decisions without compromising their principles, we see Stoicism in action. This concept bridges the gap between philosophy and daily life, helping us understand that Stoicism is not just theory, it's a way of life. Marcus Aurelius also advised, "Love those who criticize you because they show you your faults." Rather than viewing criticism as a personal attack, we can see it as a valuable tool for self-reflection, one that highlights areas we may need to improve. By embracing constructive feedback and learning from those who challenge us, we use criticism as a means of growth, turning even difficult relationships into opportunities for self-improvement. When we deliberately seek out wise and virtuous people as role models, we engage in an active process of learning and self-refinement. Aurelius emphasized this practice, encouraging us to imitate the best as a way to develop our own character. Role models provide us with examples of resilience, perseverance, and courage. Think about how much we can learn by watching how someone else overcomes challenges. By noting the qualities that help them, we gain insights we can apply to our own lives. This perspective on growth is not passive, it's proactive, continually reinforcing our commitment to improvement and excellence. When we encounter setbacks or obstacles, we're reminded of Aurelius's words, "The obstacle is the way." Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, they become the training grounds for our character, the very steps that lead us toward the strength and self-discipline we aspire to. In the modern world, this principle of surrounding ourselves with positive influences has taken on even greater importance. Today, we are bombarded by social media and news channels, constantly exposed to voices and opinions that can distract us or lead us astray. In a world of abundant information, it's easy to get lost or allow ourselves to be swayed by voices that don't align with our true values. By being mindful of who we follow, whose opinions we respect, and whose lives we admire, we build a filter that keeps out the noise and focuses on what truly matters. Our role models need not be famous figures. They can be people we encounter in our day-to-day lives, family members, friends, mentors, or colleagues who live with integrity and purpose. The key is in choosing those who set an example worth emulating, people whose lives serve as a map for facing challenges with dignity, wisdom, and inner strength. By studying their approach, we learn practical strategies for managing our own challenges. This process is about learning through example, not imitation, and using these insights to refine our personal values and actions. Marcus Aurelius encouraged this practice because he understood that greatness is not born in isolation. It's developed by learning from those who have walked the path of virtue and achieved wisdom through experience. Furthermore, surrounding ourselves with virtuous people helps us set a higher standard for our own behavior and decisions. These positive influences act as a mirror, showing us the potential for greatness within ourselves. They inspire us not to settle, but to keep reaching toward our highest ideals. In doing so, we create an environment that encourages growth, one where the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline are constantly reinforced. As we internalize these lessons, we become more resilient, more focused, and more aligned with our values. In conclusion, as we incorporate this Stoic principle into our lives, we learn that the people around us are not just companions, they are reflections of who we are becoming. Marcus Aurelius's teachings remind us that to truly embody Stoic values, we must seek out influences that strengthen our resolve and guide us toward a life of purpose. By carefully selecting role models who embody the virtues we respect, we set ourselves on a path to becoming the best versions of ourselves. 9. Self-criticism. This Stoic principle isn't merely about recalling daily events. It's about engaging in a profound, thoughtful examination of one's thoughts, actions, and reactions throughout each day. Marcus Aurelius encouraged this daily practice of self-reflection, emphasizing that true self-discipline requires ongoing evaluation of whether we are living in line with core Stoic virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. He advised, "Virtue lies in acting in accordance with nature and reason," reminding us that living a good life means consistently checking that our actions are guided by rationality and purpose, not fleeting impulses or societal pressures. This process is like holding a mirror to ourselves each night, asking whether our behavior that day truly reflected the values we aspire to live by. It's an exercise in humility, honesty, and accountability, a quiet conversation with our inner selves to measure growth and correct course. In the Stoic tradition, self-criticism isn't about self-judgment or finding fault for its own sake. Instead, it's a feedback loop that strengthens our character. Each evening, Marcus Aurelius would reflect on his day, and we too can benefit from asking ourselves key questions. Did I act with wisdom? Did I treat others with fairness? Did I show courage in the face of challenges? Did I exercise self-control? These questions are gentle yet firm, guiding us to examine our actions without harshness, but with a desire to improve. This self-reflection serves as a daily renewal of our commitment to personal growth, transforming moments of self-criticism into steps toward becoming better versions of ourselves. For Marcus, self-examination was an essential part of self-discipline, a way to align his actions with his beliefs and maintain integrity amidst the challenges and distractions of life. This habit of self-reflection is not only relevant but vital in our modern world, where we are so often pulled outward by the demands of work, relationships, and technology. In a society where we tend to measure success by external markers like wealth, status, or recognition, self-criticism brings our focus back to our internal world. Marcus Aurelius believed, true happiness lies in living in harmony with reason and nature, not in seeking fleeting pleasures, reminding us that genuine fulfillment doesn't come from transient achievements or material rewards. When we take time each day to review our thoughts and actions, we ground ourselves in a sense of purpose that doesn't waver with external events. This habit of self-reflection becomes a guiding light, helping us remember that our worth is measured by the alignment of our actions with our values, not by how others perceive us or the approval we might seek externally. Practicing self-criticism allows us to develop a strong inner compass that keeps us aligned with our true purpose. Each day becomes more than a series of tasks or obligations. It transforms into a series of opportunities to cultivate our character, strengthen our inner resilience, and live with integrity. This habit of introspection not only sharpens our self-discipline but also builds a sense of confidence and inner peace. When we hold ourselves accountable in this way, we become less swayed by external praise or criticism. Instead, we begin to trust our own judgment and align ourselves more closely with our values. And as we grow in our commitment to this practice, we find that self-criticism is not a burden, but a powerful tool that guides us toward a life that is not only disciplined, but deeply fulfilling and meaningful. At its core, self-criticism encourages us to see each day as a chance to refine who we are and move closer to the person we aspire to be. Through this Stoic practice, we transform self-examination into a daily ritual of growth, building a foundation of inner strength that supports us through life's challenges. This simple yet profound act of reflection, as Marcus Aurelius taught, is a path to self-mastery, a way to live intentionally, to act with integrity, and to create a life that reflects the highest Stoic ideals of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. If you've made it this far, you're truly on the path to self-mastery. Drop a comment saying, "Discipline is my strength," to show you're committed to this journey of growth. Stay tuned. There's more wisdom ahead. 10. Experience as the foundation of wisdom. This Stoic principle reminds us that true growth is not achieved by harshly judging ourselves for our mistakes, but by thoughtfully observing, learning, and making small adjustments each day. Marcus Aurelius embraced this approach, making every day an opportunity to refine himself, not just as a ruler, but as a philosopher and a human being committed to living with integrity. By taking a moment each day to reflect on his experiences, he was able to maintain a clear sense of purpose and continually align his actions with his values. He recognized that true self-discipline isn't about reaching perfection, but about the courage to self-reflect and to strive toward personal improvement, no matter the setbacks or challenges. Incorporating this approach into our own lives can be incredibly transformative. Imagine ending each day with a quiet moment of reflection, a simple but powerful practice to develop greater self-discipline and personal insight. In this moment, ask yourself key questions. How did I respond to challenges today? Did I act in accordance with my principles, or were there moments when I strayed? What could I have done better? Were there times I lost control, and if so, why? Reflecting on these questions isn't about criticizing yourself, but about building awareness. It's about becoming honest with yourself in a way that helps you understand your actions, learn from them, and make improvements. As Marcus Aurelius would remind us, virtue lies in acting in accordance with nature and reason, meaning true fulfillment comes from living in harmony with our best self, not by seeking external validation or fleeting pleasures, but by knowing that we acted in alignment with our core values. This practice of nightly self-reflection creates a feedback loop, a way to check in with yourself and realign each day with what matters most. Think of it as closing a chapter at the end of each day, allowing yourself to address any lingering worries or unresolved emotions. Imagine the power of confronting these thoughts before moving into the next day. Over time, this habit can foster a greater sense of peace and clarity, because you're no longer carrying the weight of unresolved stress or self-doubt. Instead, each night you have an opportunity to clear the slate, assess your growth, and prepare to face tomorrow with a renewed sense of purpose. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions and pressures often lead us away from our true goals, the habit of self-reflection becomes even more valuable. It serves as an anchor, a way to ground yourself in the values and goals you hold dear, rather than letting daily demands or the opinions of others dictate your actions. With this daily ritual, you commit to becoming both the student and the teacher of your own life. Every day becomes an opportunity to learn from your own experiences, to refine your character, and to strive toward embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This practice teaches us that self-discipline isn't just about control, it's a way of life, a continuous journey of aligning with our highest self. The beauty of this habit lies in its simplicity. A few quiet minutes at the end of each day can help you find the clarity and strength needed to make real progress. When we reflect on our actions with honesty and without harsh judgment, we start to understand our motivations, our reactions, and our areas of improvement. And as Marcus Aurelius believed, true happiness lies in living in harmony with reason and nature, not in seeking fleeting pleasures. This reminder brings us back to what truly matters, reinforcing that real fulfillment doesn't come from external achievements or accolades, but from knowing we are living authentically and intentionally, day by day. By building this habit, you create a strong inner compass that helps you navigate through life with confidence and clarity. Each day becomes more than a routine. It transforms into a meaningful journey where you are actively shaping your character, strengthening your resilience, and living with integrity. When you practice self-reflection regularly, you begin to trust your own judgment more deeply, becoming less swayed by external praise or criticism. Instead, you gain a steady confidence that comes from knowing your actions align with your values. This kind of self-trust allows you to move through life with greater calm and focus, knowing that you are on a path toward becoming the person you aspire to be. Thank you for joining us on Stoic in Your Life to explore these 10 essential lessons for mastering self-discipline, inspired by Marcus Aurelius. If you found value in this video, please give it a like, share it with others on their own path to growth, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos filled with timeless wisdom. Let's keep growing stronger together.